Are you looking for a unique holiday gift that will also do some good? Stick around until the end of this video for information from Fume Flavored Air. We knew that Donald Trump's cabinet was going to be an absolute mess. It was going to be filled to the brim with sycophants and bootlickers and lapdogs and people who will implement his policy. Now, look, Donald Trump not only won the Electoral College, Donald Trump won the popular vote. And a cabinet official or a cabinet level official, Tom Homan in this case, he's not cabinet, he's going to be the border czar. A president, the cabinet serves to not only implement the president's policy, they also serve as guardrails, as being able to give honest and earnest counsel to that president. This is not the cabinet that's being amassed. This is a cabinet of absolute ass licks of Donald Trump. We're going to start. This is just breaking from CNN. Kristi Noem, murderer of dogs that are untrainable. Kristi Noem, someone with zero experience, maybe zero ability to gain that experience, to be Homeland Security Secretary. Kristi Noem. Here's the headline from CNN. Trump picks Kristi Noem to serve as his Homeland Security Secretary. Noem will be tapped to take over as the agency as two key immigration hardliners, Stephen Miller and Tom Homan, are slated to serve in senior roles, signaling Trump is serious about his promise to crack down on immigration pledges. With his selection of Noem, Trump is ensuring a loyalist will head an agency he prioritizes that is key to his domestic agenda. Loyalist. That's the term to keep in mind. Donald Trump will not place even if there is such a thing left anymore, an average run-of-the-mill milquetoast type of Republican. He wants the most worshipful in the cult to serve in a role. There are more. He announced this, yesterday on Truth Social. I'm not going to go through these and read them all. But Elise Stefanik, present Congresswoman from New York, to be the UN ambassador. Ass kisser. Lee Zeldin, someone with zero environmental knowledge or ability, to lead the Environmental Protection Agency. That's a problem. Marco Rubio, Lil Marco, who wasn't qualified, according to Donald Trump himself in a tweet from 2015, to run even one of Donald Trump's smaller companies, has been apparently slated to be Secretary of State. Which is bananas because, as the New York Times in this particular article, Trump expected to name Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. They describe him as a hardliner against China and these different countries, but he will do whatever Donald Trump tells him to do. He will implement any foreign policy, no matter how atrocious, no matter how damaging to the position, whether it be security or diplomatically, of the United States of America. He is a lapdog. He has a yearning for Donald Trump's undercarriage, we'll just put it that way. He also has an insatiable appetite for the blood of Palestinians. A few months ago, he was confronted by Code Pink protesters in the halls of the United States Senate office buildings, to which he had this reaction to their questions about his position about the death of tens of thousands of children and women and non-combatants.
Senator Rubio, will you call for ceasefire?
No, I will not.
Gaza?
On the contrary.
Senator Rubio,
are you filming it?
Wait,
so I want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on. These people are vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that.
And what about the civilians that are being killed every day?
Hamas should stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas should stop building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So you don't care that 15,000 have died? You don't care about the babies that are being killed every day?
I think it's horrifying. I think it's terrible, and I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
So, fantastic job. Those individuals, they're not wholly to blame for the loss, but they certainly played a part in the messaging leading up to and the dissuading of voters of voting for Kamala Harris. People who thought, oh, the genocide in Palestine is my red line, my personal, look at me, this is all about me, I'm not going to vote for Kamala Harris. And here we are, allies of Palestine, where an absolute atrocity is taking place on a daily basis. Nearing 45,000 people are dead. The vast majority of which are not members of Hamas, are not terrorists, had nothing to do with the October 7th attacks. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio will ensure that every last Palestinian is murdered. Good job, leftists. A certain flavor of leftists, not all of them. And then the last final note here today is Tom Homan to be the border czar. This should scare everybody because, one, they're not just going after the MS-13 gang members. They're not just going after people who have been convicted of crimes. They're going to go after both illegal and legal immigrants. There's already talk of denaturalizing American citizens, people who have been granted citizenship, denaturalization. And Tom Homan is a white supremacist. And you might say, well, that's just hyperbole. Tom Homan, not everything you don't like is racist. Idiots say that in my comments. Morons and white supremacists use that as an argument to give themselves cover against the radical white supremacists that they are. The reason I say Tom Homan is a white supremacist is because Tom Homan, the incoming border czar, the incoming annihilator of immigrant families, accepted an invite by Nick Fuentes, the little Nazi puke, to speak at the America First Political Action Committee conference. First, before I get to this little bit of this article here from the Daily Beast from 2022, not a recent thing, not a brand new article, I want to show you exactly who this guy is before I get into him being a white supremacist who, you'll learn, called back the reporter at the end after they had had a conversation and wanted to ensure the reporter that he knew, I'm not denouncing Nick Fuentes. I just left the conference early for other reasons. Here is Tom Homan on 60 Minutes saying, yeah, of course there's a way to not separate families. You just deport the whole family.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Families, ostensibly, which contains American citizens, you can deport and not separate. You just ship them all out. Even the American citizens you deport. That's what he's saying. That's the agenda that will be accomplished if they get their way. If state attorneys general all across the country don't put up some kind of a legal roadblock or maybe just defy the federal government whole cloth. This is from the Daily Beast. What was Trump's ICE director doing at America First PAC's Nazi conference? Quote, I asked, does Does it give you pause, or does it inspire any self-reflection that someone like Nick Fuentes would want you at their conference? That's the question Christopher Mathias, Huffington Post's senior reporter who specializes in covering right-wing extremism in America, had for Thomas Homan, who was the director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement back when Donald Trump was president. Last month, the HuffPost reporter had learned that the former senior Trump administration official was scheduled to speak at the Fuentes-hosted and hyper-racist America First Political Action Committee conference, or simply the Nazi conference, as it's called by detractors in Florida. But Homan, who showed up for the event, ended up bailing before his scheduled speech. When Mathias, who ventured down to the Sunshine State to investigate the latest ongoings of the youthful white supremacist confab, finally got Homan on the phone, Trump's former immigration crackdown chief said yes, he was a confirmed speaker at the openly and obviously racist event. It's just that he backed out last minute after, according to Homan, serendipitously seeing something online about Fuentes' kind words for Vladimir Putin and the ongoing brutal Russian invasion of Ukraine. Even then, Mathias says Homan couldn't bring himself to unequivocally condemn Fuentes and his Groyper crew, a band of gleefully white nationalist activists and online trolls who've made it their mission, with some high-profile successes, to infiltrate more mainstream Republican politics. And then this is the part that you have to hear. This is the incoming border czar for Donald Trump, handpicked. The white supremacist rally attendee, invite acceptor. After Mathias asked Trump's one-time enforcer if this moment provided any cause for self-reflection, Homan said something to the effect of, quote, "I don't know Fuentes' intentions. I'm not a racist, though. I just like secure borders," Mathias told Fever Dreams. A few minutes after that conversation, Mathias recounted Homan called him back to clarify something. And you will, I've already, spoiler alert, I've already told you what it is, but this is what he wanted to call back after the conversation was over to clarify. Homan wanted to make clear that he definitely was not denouncing Fuentes. We are going to have to develop a certain flavor. I mean, we're going to have to figure out just how to resist this administration and the damage to real human lives that will be done. Whether that be obviously voting or not complying with police, not complying with fascist orders to round up and put in camps immigrants in this country. And every single one of these prospective appointments to cabinet level positions will be someone that we need to, as a whole, deny power to. Democrats better get it together. The party had better get it together, had better get a strategy. It's not go along to get along anymore. If you thought the 2016 or 2017 through 2021 version of resistance was too much for you, this is not even going to be on the table for you. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. That would be fantastic. And the voicemail line is open, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me. That's always open. daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to take part in this resistance in independent media, click the join button below, and for $2 a month, you can help support my work, which I believe is important. If I'm not your guy and there's someone else out there on any platform in independent media that's doing work that you appreciate or that gives you more value, support them. It doesn't have to be me. Independent media in this age right now is critical, especially after we watch the media miss the moment day after day after day leading up to the election. Follow me on Threads and TikTok and Facebook and Blue Sky. I'd love to see you there. I am at Dollemore. I have Sworn off Twitter. I'm done. So maybe I'll see you on one of those. I love and appreciate you. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another. If your local grocery store hasn't informed you already, the holidays are here again. Time to update that gift list. And wow, there's no shortage of garbage you can buy online. Isn't it always nicer to give gifts with a little thought? For that partner, or friend, or family member in your life who is looking to build better habits. I mean, maybe that person is you yourself. Fume has just the thing. Fume flavored air devices are a nicotine-free, non-toxic, and guilt-free way to break away from bad habits. With high-quality, fidget-friendly designs, Fume devices are a gratifying substitute for that faux pas of yours, or your friends, I mean. Physiology shows stopping a bad habit cold turkey is very hard on your brain. Fume works by replacing your hand-to-mouth fixation, calming nervous tension, and distracting you from your bad habit with a delicious flavor. Alleviate the quitting gloom and get with Fume. Scan this QR code or simply head to tryfume.com/Dollemore now and use code Dollemore to get your holiday gift game on point. Fume uses no batteries. There is nothing to charge. Fume is not a vape. It's not a vape. And flavored air isn't like vaping. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to being herbal teas. With flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation through a system that utilizes no electronics or combustion, just delicious flavor. And Fume sure has lots of delicious flavors. Crisp mint, orange vanilla, sparkling grapefruit, and the new peach blush. This holiday season, give the gift of better habits with Fume. Head to tryfume.com/Dollemore and use code Dollemore to get a free Fume topper when you order a journey pack. It's the perfect addition to make your gift even more special. And if you're lucky, you could even win one of Fume's limited edition gold-plated devices this holiday season. Again, though, not that this gift is being bought by you for you. That's tryfume.com/Dollemore, or just scan this QR code to grab yours now and make someone's holiday unforgettable. Trade bad habits in for good ones this holiday season with Fume.